see Sarah's here. Hello, hello. Oh, Terry's here too. Hey guys. Like usual, I'm waiting for it to load on my side so I can make sure that everything is balanced. I have to watch an ad for my own video. That's right. I'm monetized now. Yay. That was weird. That's so weird having to watch an ad to watch my own video. Alright, cool. Sounds good. Gonna make the music like 2 tiny clicks higher. There we go. Alright, cool. Terry says picture and sound is good. Awesome. I'm just being really nitpicky with it too. Sweet. Everything is all set up. Alright. So, per usual, I am still listening to the same Zelda lo-fi mix. It's been amazing. So I'm going to put those in the chat really quick. Highly, highly recommend. And I'm also going to put a picture of what I'm making today. I'm not totally sure how to pronounce it. I imagine it's Cicalia. Either way, it's very pretty. Essentially, it's Ursula from Little Mermaid, half octopus lady. It's going to be awesome. So I'm starting with the mermaid I did here because I want them to all look pretty related and similar. So I figured I'd just start with this and modify it. All right. Looks good. Sweet. Let's get started. Awesome. All right, so the first thing I want to do with this is obviously change the color scheme because she's not going to be green. I'm thinking more of like brown, maybe purple tones for this. So let's go for more of a skin tone. Go a little bit darker. I don't want her to be as pale as me. There we go, that's better. And then I'm also thinking either a brown or purple for her hair. And move this. Let me move the chat so I can actually see you guys talking as well. Terry says that's going to be cool. Kit says, oh, helps if I press the play button. Yes, that is a good first step. I still am tripping that there was an ad on this video. Like, I just enabled all of this, but still, it's so exciting to me to be, like, monetized. It makes me feel extra official. I don't know. Ooh. I think I enabled all of the ads except for the non-skippable ones. Because if I click on a video and I can't skip the ad, like, I click off it every time. Even if I really like the person, I'm like, I can't watch 30 seconds for you, I'm sorry. Alright. I'm really excited for this model. So I'm probably going to model obviously like our torso in symmetry, but then I'm going to move on to like the tentacles, and those I'm probably going to do asymmetrically because I can't imagine doing them all symmetrically and then having to pose them. I think it's better to probably design them already posed. I did think it was funny. I already have a handful of my videos that have been unmonetized because I sculpt like people, and so there's lots like naked people in my videos. I just thought it was funny. I can appeal it. I didn't. I'm really not that fussed about it. This isn't exactly an income stream for me anyway. I just think it's cool that it could be monetized, so I was like, sure. I'm gonna go with like this purple color scheme. Yeah, it's a good purple. I like that one. I'm gonna zoom in on her face and then kind of soften it up a little bit. I want her to look like a monster, so I'm gonna keep like the ears and stuff, but I don't want her to look as harsh as the mermaid did, so I'm gonna soften up some of her features here. Color her eyebrows really quick because it looks weird when they're just skin tone. There we go. always been a huge fan of purple lipstick. I just personally can't pull off dark lipstick very well. But whenever I get the chance, I always make my characters have dark lipsticks. I think it looks super cool. Dark lipstick is just a hard look to pull off. Alright, so I'm going to mask her eyes and then just take a light purple shade here. Not too much, otherwise it's going to make her look like she's sick. But just to add like a little bit of whimsy. I don't know why I always do the tips of the ears like a color, but it's just something I've started doing and I've really come to like it. I think I want her to be a little harsher looking than the mermaid. Got some attitude going on there. I like it. Terry says, I don't think I saw an ad play. I'm gonna load a new window up. Don't worry about it. It's something that it might depend on what area you're at and all kinds of other things. And since I like just did this like literally like 15-20 minutes ago, it might not be fully enacted everywhere. Yeah, I hope you guys are all having a super good day. I just woke up today in an especially good mood. Like, I do wake up fairly Disney princessy. I'm one of those people who wakes up and I'm like, oh, it's morning. Not every day. If I have anything planned that day, I'm the complete opposite. I am definitely one of those people who loves canceling plans. I don't know, it just like immediately makes me happy. But I also hate being a flake, so I'll go. But I love if I don't have to. I do a lot better with spontaneous plans where it's like, oh, I don't know, we're going here today. But you can't like spontaneously go to the DMV. I don't know if it's called the DMV everywhere. Probably not. But like in the United States, DMV just where you go to get like your license, traffic tickets, moving. Like really it's like anything vehicle related. But it's notoriously super long and tedious and awful. If you go at 6 p.m., you would be lucky to get out, or sorry, 6 p.m., 6 a.m., it's like you're lucky to get out by 2 p.m. Like you're just there for hours. It's just a nightmare. Maybe not a nose like that. I don't like, her nose is really, really narrow. I did that for the mermaid to be really sharp looking, but I don't want that for the Cecilia. I don't know how to make her look octopus-like. I think I'm gonna give her like a lot of curls in her hair to like mirror the tentacles. But as far as her face goes, I'm really trying to think like, what is octopus like? Is that a more rounded face? Is that a sharper face? I don't know. I'm pretty happy with this look. All right. Got this purple look going on here, and then like always I'm going to tint her hands a color because that's another thing that I really like doing. Alright, I need to get drag rectangle so I can just drag this on. And then I'm going to go to a darker color because I'm also all about gradients. It's my next favorite thing. Alright, I definitely want to change her top. So, let's see. I'm going to give her belt, kind of like the concept image that I shared, because I really like that. And for an octopus, it's going to be a little harder to make the transition look like appealing. Like I feel like for a mermaid, like you can kind of like feather up scales up to her abdomen and make it blend really nicely. I did something similar for the Selkie because Selkies, they like actually peel off their seal skin when they become humans. Like they're never actually half seal, half human. So I made it look more like a dress. So it's supposed to be like distinct pieces or discrete pieces. But with this, since it's going to be like flowing into tentacles, it's going to be kind of hard. So I think putting a belt right there, like a slanted belt, will look nice and sexy. We'll see. All right. Someone new is here. Hello. Hi, do you know how thick your typical D&D bases are, and how do you deal with the scale inside ZBrush core once the sculpt is finished? Great question. All right, so the average D&D base, I think, is like 3 millimeters. I'm pretty sure. There's honestly a lot of variation depending whether or not they're beveled, or just like the general shape of them. Some people have square bases, for example, or circle, but generally 3 millimeters. And then how do I deal with the scale? So I don't deal with my scaling inside of ZBrush or ZBrush core. I actually do it in Mesh Mixer, and then I just take a little like line and I measure from foot to eye level and make it about 28 millimeters. That's to represent a 6 foot tall male. So he'll actually end up being about 30 to 31 millimeters total. And for like a woman, I'll make her like closer to 26 or 27 millimeters foot to eye level to represent like closer to 5 feet rather than 6 feet. But for my monsters and stuff, I pretty much round everyone out to be like 6 feet tall or higher, just to keep it the bigger the mini, the more detail that shows. So I like to try to err on the larger side. But as far as like miniature creators go, my minis are pretty small. All right. Terry said, I just sent my VPN to California and got an ad to play. You're the best. That probably made me like, I don't know, 2 pennies, but like, hell yeah, thank you. Michael says, round face, larger eyes. Yes. Oh yeah, duh, because like, just thinking about an octopus head and like their eyes are perfect little circles. Yes, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. And then Clued says, hello sculptors. Yep, hello. And then Kit says, speaking of, have you seen the video of one changing colors as it dreams while sleeping? Oh, that sounds cool. I assume you're talking about octopuses. Yeah, I know they're so cool. They're little aliens, right? Like they can change texture and color. Very cool. Oh yeah, and Clued says also depends on size category for the base. Very true. Generally speaking, I try to not keep my no base is larger than 5 millimeters thick because then it's like really hard to get them off of the build plate. But you do what you want. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit more volume to her face, kind of round it off a little bit, and also round off her eyes, per recommendation of Clued, which was fantastic. Also, a fun fact, when you're trying to make eyes look bigger or more round, generally speaking, like people just do what I did where like you raise the top eyelid and bottom eyelid. But if you draw like a line through the, like horizontally through the center of your eye, most of your eye that is showing is below the middle line. So what I'm trying to say is if you want to make eyes look bigger, lower this bottom eyelid, don't pull the top one up. Otherwise you just look like this. Like it just looks weird. So be very delicate when moving that upper eyelid. Just a tip. And obviously none of these are hard and fast rules, but they'll just make your life a little bit easier. Unless you want your character to look super surprised, then by all means, raise that upper eyelid up. See what I mean? Like she immediately looks like a little alien. Like, it's just not a great look. Giving her the bigger eyes, but still like the mad eyebrows. It's a funny look. She's kind of like cranky friendly. I don't know. I'm also going to soften her jawline a little bit. I usually do these really harsh jawlines because I love anything that looks elven and those like really cutting jawlines. I just love them. I think they're so cool. But in this case, I think a softer jawline would look better. See, I really don't try to make all my characters look the same. I just make a lot of elven looking stuff. And jawlines are another one of those things that, like, be very careful when you're adjusting them because you can make your character look like a monster, like, not in a good way, very quickly. Alright, looks good. Oops, where is her entire body? There it is. Alright, I think I'm going to work on either her hair or her top first. Go ahead and Dynamesh this. smoothing this shape out, and then I'll try to think of something different that I want to do with this. I think I do like the idea of it being like her hair is slicked back and then like these big, thick swirls in them. So I will go ahead and solo this, turn off perspective, and then trim these little pieces up. Hair always looks so weird in the beginning. Also, I see what I move for eyebrows. I got this weird little bump right here. So let me go ahead and smooth that out really quick. There we go. Much, much better. There we go. Clute says, I'm with you all the way, Mia. Everything starts off as an elf for me. I can't help it. I love them so much. I feel it. I feel it. And then Clute also says, you could use some landmarks of the anatomy, like lower abdominal muscles, obliques, as forms that transition in tentacles. That would be really interesting. Yeah, that is a fantastic tip. Thank you. I will keep that in mind too. Because you know, like how octopuses have like that, like a skirt that like folds and ripples almost like a ribbon. That'll be hard to do for me. Like that's something I know I have trouble with, like those kind of fabric folds. That's kind of what this is. But no, it'd be good practice. Turning symmetry off, and now I'm going to kind of start playing with what I want this hair shape to look like. I'm going to go ahead and damn standard and put a crease where I want the part to be. I usually like dig the part all the way down and then just use inflate to bring it back together. I find that it makes like the best looking fold. Obviously it looks weird at first because she looks bald for a second, but it's whatever. I'm also going to turn on a lazy mouse. She's just looking like an evil little mermaid right now. Her hairline's also really screwy, so I'm going to try to pull these bangs down to make it look like she's not balding, because that is not the look I'm going for. There we go. That's better. It's a good block out of what I want. For her hair, I'll probably keep it pretty simple overall, but adding like big swirls like this, because it doesn't need to make sense. She's in the water, so it can be like really fun. I think that looks so cool. I think I don't want to do this in symmetry. Oh yeah, and with a spiral brush, if you just like drag like a straight line, nothing happens. Just scribble in like one spot. That's like how it's supposed to work. I've had a couple people message me confused with how the spiral brush is supposed to work. I'm also going to lower the intensity a bit. There we go. That's more of the curl I'm kind of going for. That paired with the move brush, and I should really be able to get some interesting shapes here. It looks kind of odd, but I do like it, and it's going to paint really well too. And again, it's like she has tentacles for legs, so I'm not too worried about this being realistic. I do like that pull right here, so I'll probably really exaggerate that later when I'm detailing the hair. Right now I'm just like blocking out general forms. I think this looks really pretty. Alright, and then I don't like how it's like this flat panel right here, so I'm definitely going to move it in some way or another, but I might hold off on that until the entire model is posed, know which way I want to push her hair. In the meantime, I do want it to be a little bit shorter, and then a little bit more volume in the back. There we go. That's better. Oh, everything has gone black. I am sorry, guys. I'll let, hey Ricky, since you're here, we really need to get a new cable for this. It cuts out all the time. Yeah, I'm just telling you because I will forget. I keep talking about it and forgetting. Alright, I'm fixing it. It should pop back up now. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Oh yeah, we do have that one up there too. Oh no, it has something to do with the graphics card. It's literally the cable that I have connecting it. That's why it's turning green before when it glitches. Zaxa says, I keep walking into Mia talking about tentacles. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and swap this out now. Alright, it's gonna go black for a second here right now as I switch this out. I forgot that you have one too. Yeah. I just don't want to mess with your stuff because you have such a clean setup. Right? There we go. I'll take this. Alright, supposedly this should not do that. We'll see. Alright, cool. It's all back up and connected. That was easy. Bam. It's fixed. And yeah, I will keep OBS open as well so it's easier for me to see when that happens. Alright, cool. So far she's looking mean and I love it. Again, subdivide her hair so it's a bit smoother looking. And then obviously it needs a gradient. And now I'd like it 100 times more. Alright, I'm also going to go into Lightbox and grab this slash brush. I really like doing this for quickly detailing hair. But first, I'm going to fix the part in her hair a little bit, because this is a little too wobbly. There we go. And then back to the slash brush I was talking about. So right now I'm kind of playing with the intensity to get the crease that I want. It's being a little bit silly because this is subdivided and not Dynamesh, so I'm actually going to Dynamesh this at a high resolution to get the shape that I want. But I can still look at the curls to make sure I don't lose anything. Alright, before and after, that looks good. Alright. There we go, that looks much, much better. Go ahead and solo the hair so it's easier for me to get behind her ears and stuff. There we go. You can achieve a really similar look by alternating using Dam Standard and using it with and without alt. But this just does the same thing pretty much, but a bit cleaner and much, much faster. I can use this to really add some more like edges to the swirls right here, and they'll paint even better. Might need to add a lazy curve to this brush as well. It's a little harsh. There we go. Much better. Lazy mouse with brushes like this really gives you a lot more control over what you're doing. And the reason for that is because with this kind of brush, if you just like hold in one spot, it tends to like keep working, so to speak. I go ahead and turn off paint for a second because it's getting really hard to see. Hot out there? Ugh. God, I hate wasps. Ugh. It's okay, we're moving soon. That's kind of exciting news. Ricky and I are probably moving next week. We'll still be in California, and we'll still be in the Central Valley. But, so same heat, but with less wasps in this specific area. And I detailed this a little less because when I go to move it, it's already going to deform a lot. And I really just want to do it for up here for when I move that and it textures really nicely. Just going to add some sort of texture right here, some sort of swirlies. None of that will probably be as visible, but I figured I'd put something there just in case some of it peeks out. There we go. Looks nice. All right, I love her hair. Awesome. Go ahead and save. And then I have not read the chat for a second, so look over there as well. Kit says bigger place? Yes, much bigger place. What we're at now is 850 square feet. 800? Anyway, and then where we're going is 1200. It has like a little like balcony and stuff, and I'm very excited about that. Let's see. Another good question from Maniac. How do you know when to stop adding details to a sculpt because it won't show on the final print? I would say you gotta just play with that. sorry, it's a hard answer. There's not really an answer to that question. You really have to develop that sense for yourself depending on what scale that you're going to be printing on, what kind of printer you're using, what kind of resin that you're using. Like, there's a lot of factors for that. General rule of thumb, I would take your model, I would zoom out to the size that you're going to be printing it. She's going to be like, what, this tall? So I'll put that on my screen, that tall. So hard to see details, right? But if I go to her hair, you really can still see all of those details and stuff. Same with her eyes, her lips, you can still distinguish all of these things. So that is my best answer I can get for that. So lots of trial and error. Sarah says, I hope your new place is nice. I'm guessing less live streams while you move there. Nope, actually, I got everything all planned out, and I will still be completely on schedule. It's because, like, as of right now, like, my live stream setup is super comfortable and easy. Like, I'm just in a really good little spot, and none of this needs to move until last second. Also, Ricky and I are, like, workhorses, and we are going to move everything in a day, like, no problem. That's just kind of how we are. So we'll be completely moved and, like, unpacked within 24 hours once we start moving. We've actually already packed a lot of our stuff because we're excited. We don't move until, I mean, it's not official technically, but we've, like, passed background check and credit check and all that kind of stuff. So probably moving on, like, next week. What day is today? Today is the 8th. Next week. Yes. But yeah, I'll be all good. Looks like this cable is doing well. I don't know why that other one was even cutting out. I wasn't even touching it. Mahir says, you know what they say, man plans and God laughs. That's a great saying. But yeah, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Shut up, Mahir. I got this. You might be right. But at the very, very least, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday streams will be like somewhere either like there or moved around, but they'll still happen. We'll see. All right. What else do I want to do with this? So I really like this top, but I don't want to have the exact same top for the mermaid and for this. So I do want to change this. I like the darker color. I think I want this to be pulled up like a halter. Just to really exaggerate like the swirls. Go ahead and solo this. I'm going to mask the edges here. Hide her hair. And then I can go ahead and try and tuck this back. All right, I like how that looks. You can really lean into that curve right here. That looks really cool. I don't really know what I want to do with this. Probably just remove it entirely. Same goes for this. That's right, that doesn't remove in symmetry. That's dumb. Just gonna use trim dynamic and just push it. All right, I do like that. It definitely gives a different look to this. I always like to turn on transparency and make sure that her clothes are always like fitting the way it makes sense. I could tell that was a little too high up right there. That looks better, closer to her body. Alright, the strap back here definitely needs some work. Gonna move this up and then use back face masks to add some texture to this and thickness. Alright, now she has hair again. I love the colors of that. It's very pretty. This lighter, almost like pinkish purple, I'm going to put at the top of her hair as well. There we go, very nice. Awesome. And now we're really getting into the interesting part of this, which is the tentacles. Gonna make her fingertips a little bit longer and kind of add more of like a claw-like look to them. Being very careful to drag them straight out, otherwise they'll look broken. Also gonna turn off paint for this so I can see a little bit better. Sweet. Love that. Alright, so I'm going to keep the tail here to kind of give me an idea of like how long I should be making each tentacle. Alright. So I'm going to go to curve tubes. Where are those? You know what? I'm actually going to just dock those onto my custom UI at this point because I use it really frequently. So where is it? I always forget. There it is, curve tube. And then going to go to preferences, config, enable customize. Which one of these do I not use? Curve strap. I don't use as much as I thought I did. And then place this one here instead. Turn off enable customize and then store config. There we go. Now it will always be there. Alright, and then for this, I'm going to go to stroke, curve modifiers, and then change the way that this tapers. So now by having this curve right here, it's going to taper off like a tentacle would. I'm also going to pull up my concept art for sure. Let's see. Maniac says, I mean, I know they look way cooler painted, but do you poly paint your skulls because you like it? For marketing, future proofing? Like out here, Forge has the coloring option. I just do it because I like it. Like, I've been using them more for when I do releases and stuff, and I guess that's kind of marketing, but I don't know if anyone actually prefers seeing them painted. I just decided this is how I like my work being shown the most. But I'm also careful the way I paint them. Like, I don't paint on things that look like they've been sculpted on. Like, I don't paint, like, I don't know, like scars or spots that have been raised, like, you know what I mean? I'll add like gradients, but it's clear that that's not actually, there's not a gradient sculpted into the model, you know what I mean? All very good questions though. Readjusting my screen over here so I can see my concept art a little bit better. And color 3D printing is a thing now. I've had this manufacturer that's actually kind of annoying me. They're messaging me constantly about taking my models and getting them painted and printed in color. And I could use this for that. But like, it's so expensive and it's a very specific market. So I'm not too fussed with it. Zaxis says, I like the way they look more painted. I think it helps bring out each of the models' individual charm. I agree. I definitely agree. So I'm pretty sure the best way to do this is do a custom brush. I've actually done this before in a lesson tutorial for patrons. But it's harder, obviously, to do it just the way that I like. So I'm going to try to get this to work the way I want it to, and if not, I'll just do this from scratch. So to do this, I know I need to have it in 3 sections. Making sure that it's clearly masked all the way around. There we go. And this is where I'd put like the little sections. Not 100% sure this is going to work because I've always noticed there's a lot of like fraction segments between each of these triparts, but this is how it's supposed to work in theory, so we'll see. If not, I've sculpted tentacles by hand. It's really not that bad. not like how weird that these came out, but again, there's going to be so many of them. I'm not too fussed if they're a little wobbly or odd looking. It's a really quick little tentacle. We'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna add some sort of texture here on the back. I wish I made these smaller as they went down, but it's fine. Let me see how this will turn out. So if this works out well, I'll go back through and modify it, make it look really like nicer, but not sure how it's gonna do. Yeah, so it does this a lot where it'll like break between every single piece here instead of like connecting the way it's supposed to. So I know that there are some things I can do to try and fix that. I haven't done this in a super long time. I'm trying to remember what I did for that tutorial. There we go. Try parts, weld points, and stretch. That usually helps. I can't remember if I want to increase or reduce max bend angle. So that's like an improvement, but still looks dumb. If I reduce that, kind of looks silly regardless. Yeah, see the way that they're overlapping right here, I really, really don't like. I don't know why it's doing that. That's why I'm probably gonna sculpt these myself by hand. Because like, the curved brushes, they work okay, but like, they're not as user-friendly as I'd wish they were, because again, they work like really broken like this sometimes, where it just looks really silly and it's not usable. There's a few things that I did that I know I would have rather done differently. But I don't know if that would fix it anyway. Trying to see what exactly this overlap does, because it looks like... Okay. That's exactly what it says, but it's just not working very well. I thought turning off stretch would help, but it did not. Let me look at my original piece here. Yeah, these pieces should be linking together. I think it's the fact that I have them on a taper that's not working very well either, so I might just do this straight and with a curve modifier to pinch them at the end, and that might work better. I do want to play with this for a little bit because it will save me a lot of time if I can get it to work correctly or just well at all. Might almost be more worth though. You know what? Instead of having them symmetrical, I think I should use the curve brush with the taper on it and then just make a custom brush with suction cups on them and then have like contact depth. So every time I draw a suction cup, it's already in, like laid into the tentacle a certain depth. And then that way it wouldn't be just uniform sections all the way across. It can really vary like the way they are. So if you actually look at like an octopus tentacle, it's not perfectly symmetrical, obviously, and it clusters in some spots. I think it's gonna look a lot better anyway. It's gonna take me longer, but I can do it. Oh yeah, and if I do this with posing them too, it just stretch out and deform the little sections anyway. Yeah, okay. This is definitely the better way to do it. All right. So I know I want there to be like a skirt of some sort. So the tentacles actually will start closer to here rather than up here. Alright, so right now I'm trying to focus on pretty much creating tentacles that I like, as opposed to getting in the perfect position right away. And then once I have all 8, then I will move them around to where I want them to be. I also have perspective turned off, so I want to make sure that these are all the same length. Not the same length, like they end at the same spot. I do have the plan for the motion to be moving kind of like this way, as you can see. I definitely need to spread them out more forward and back, but again, just worried about getting shapes that I like first. I'm gonna start naming these as well. Okay, I'm gonna have to like write out the letters because it doesn't let me have a subtool with less than 2 characters. Oh well. Oops. Man, 8 is a lot. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna put all these. All right, just one more. All right, so I missed a little bit of the chat here. Let's see, Indy Response says, hey, I have a question for you. Do you use your rotary tool before or after curing? After. If you use it before, you can, but sometimes since it's a little softer, you'll end up taking off more material than you mean to. Let's see, and then Terry says, in case anyone missed it, here's a concept art from me as modeling today. Thank you. And the free models. Thank you, thank you. Clute says, the orientation's already giving a sense of motion, right? I'm happy with it. It needs a lot of work. Oh, this is gonna be a harder model than I thought. That's okay. Alright, so I have my 8 legs and the skirt, and then I just merged this entire top piece into its own piece as well. I do have it polygrouped in case I do need to split like the hair or mess with that individually. Alright, so before I keep going with this, I'm actually going to pose the upper body. I think it's going to make it a little bit easier to see how I want the tentacles to be moving instead of vice versa. And then Indy says, awesome, thank you. You are welcome. Alright, how do I want to pose her? I think I'm going to move everything slightly this way. And then probably have her like glaring into like the camera essentially. I just don't imagine her as friendly. Adding a bend to her hips right here. I'm going to do the same for the top, just a tiny bit, just so that her shoulders aren't parallel to the ground. I'm also going to move her over a little bit so that way she fits. It's before and after. It just kind of helps later with adjustments and stuff. A lot of these sea creatures I've been doing, they all have the same like beckoning pose, but I'm like, that's what they do. I don't know. Pretty lady water creatures, they just seduce you and kill you. Like they all have very similar lore. I'm not even actually sure about the lore with Cecilia's that much. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's pretty weird. So with this, I might have her, instead of like reaching out, just kind of like the pose she has now, but just less like stiff T-pose, you know what I mean? And just more like comfortable in the water. Her arms almost in like a swirling motion where she has one circle to the right and then one circle kind of back. I don't know. We'll see. It makes sense in my head. Alright, I'm going to hide her hair for this, otherwise it's going to get in the way of posing her arms. Bend this forward. I kind of like this like gesturing across her chest, kind of, so I'm thinking. Just looks evil. Tuck that into her body a little bit more. It's a little too far away. Terry says, gotta run. Thanks for the stream. No problem. Let's see. Slee says, oh hey, you? So soon? Yeah, I know. I'm changing things up. I'm just in a good mood today, so I had to live stream early. See, this is the thing with posing elbows. Like, what is this? I know, like, I'm the problem. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I just... I think I'm blurring too much in this case, and that keeping a harder line will make this look better. Come on. Pose. Am I doing the wrong pose? No. That actually did help a lot. I mean, I know this looks really screwy, but, like, overall, this is still an improvement. Rotate this, bend this up. You know what? Actually, that did help a lot. I was just blurring it too much. What do you know? Complaining out loud always works. Because now I can just move this down, you see what I mean? And like, it doesn't look so half bad. Obviously, I need to fix this. But, much better than what I normally do. Alright, I'll worry about fixing that until I have this all the way posed. Let's see. I do want this to be rotated just a bit more, which is ruining her elbow. And fixed-ish. See, elbows just shouldn't be so ugly to begin with. This also made her arm a little too long. It just looks proportionally wrong. I'll probably scale it down by what, 10% shorter? That looks better. Because this should be about the same length as this. Obviously, that is too long if I'm looking at the distance between here and here and here and here. I guess it lines up. Let me see. We're just going to break her arm for a second here so I can look at my proportions. Yeah, it's too long. I hate elbows. Why are they so ugly? Alright. How does that crease? Okay. I will deal with that in a bit. That's totally in the wrong spot. Says we'll deal with it in a bit. Fixes it now. It's like the summary of most of my live streams. I know there is a setting in ZBrush that's called contact, and so when you have things bend like this, it won't just like clip through, and it will bend in a normal, like, you know, normal way. But I have not looked at that yet. Probably be worth looking at that. Overall, not bad. I mean, it definitely looks good from the front, which is nice. That means the general shape of this is right. Alright, wanted this rotated as well. I'm going to turn off poly paint because it's also getting a little hard to see. His long fingers look so creepy. I love it. Inflate them a little bit so they're not so fragile when printed. Other than looking weirdly muscly, I mean, overall, her elbow doesn't look that bad, actually. Alright, let's take this other arm in so it's not so weirdly far away from her body. And I might even give her her hair back. Alright, now that I have some sort of sense of motion here, I can start to relay that through all the tentacles. Made her a little bit shorter, getting a little bit too tall there, I think. Right now I'm trying to add like whoosh to her hair to match the motion of the entire model. In other words, I'm just trying to avoid working on the tentacles because it doesn't look very fun. I'm sure I'll be very happy once it's done. Be like, wow, this looks awesome. But that's like me at 2 hours in the future from now. It's not now. Just having more fun putting swirls in her hair right now. This looks kind of like a disaster, but it'll straighten out, I'm pretty sure, and it'll look really cool. I mean, I already think it looks cool. I do need to get, like, more of a sense of direction here. Or not. I mean, honestly, I can see it's looking really cool either way. But I want it more defined, kind of like that. Hello, you're back. Oh, really? Oh, how do you pay for it now? That doesn't change the fact the machines don't work. This is partly why we're moving. Laundry here is awful. Like, very, very awful.
Said you have to use everything that's on your cards before tomorrow.
Really? That's terrible. A lot of people put like 30, 40 bucks at a time. You can't do all that in a day. They give them...
Tuesday, June 9th. Oh, just the north one, so I guess he is still...
Still, the fact that you get like 12-hour notice of like, hey, if you just put money on your laundry card, screw you.
Please use all monies that you have preloaded on your wash card before then. Once both upgrades are complete, the wash cards will no longer be used.
Oh, I love that 24-hour notice. We stopped doing laundry here a long time ago. We actually go to his parents' place, which makes me feel like a child, but at least it's clean laundry.
And it looks like they do just use the same washers, because it even has the card slot right there. Just a picture of them using the app.
Oh my god. Whatever. I'm glad that it doesn't affect us. Anyway, let's see. Maniac says, are you going to cut and key each tentacle? Oh, hell no. Or Dynamesh and print it all as one piece. Dynamesh and print as one piece. These tentacles are probably going to be supportless, honestly. And when is it better to cut a sculpt in different pieces? Usually when it's big. Honestly, if you're printing something like a miniature that's going to be like, I don't know, anything smaller than the size of my fist, it's fine, honestly, because you can just hollow it. It's best to do that, say if you're printing a dragon, and for some reason the wings are parallel to the ground. I mean, like it's completely like stretched out, where I'm trying to look in like whatever, like this, flat to the ground, right? And the wings are like that. That'd be super annoying to print in one piece because you'd have to support every, yeah, like for instance, this is all one piece. Ricky, you're the best. Let me pop open this so you can see it. But yeah, this Chinese dragon was all one piece and it was damn near supportless too. Just put some under the fingers. That was pretty much it. I also made this. I love this model. I need to paint this model.
I know, we have to work on that.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, but that's a great question though. So essentially, if it's gonna be too hard to print as one piece. So let's say if this model, again, for some reason had wings that were just flat out on either side, you'd have to support every single bit. It's better to cut the wings off, print them vertical with almost no supports, and deal with it like that. Or if I wanted to print this dragon, like, I don't know, as big as my head, then I can't print it on one print bed, so then I'd key it as well. I hope that was helpful. Oh, and Ricky, it has not cut out since you left, so possibly an improvement. Sleo says, did you know Tuesday? Tuesday. You spelled it with an H. I thought it was Thursday, and it confused me. It was named after Thor. It's Thursday. Maybe that's why you put an H in it. Tuesday. Tuesday. It might just be a typo on his part, but I'm just leaning into it. All right.
Funny story, but I'm not sure if I can say it, but you're online.
Is this a PG story?
Like, yeah, kind of. Awesome drugs.
Go for it. What happened?
So I went to America's Tire to see if I can get alignment done on the truck,
Yeah?
and I'm waiting in line, and the girl in front of me, I recognize her. She
Okay.
was one of the girls that always went to Crown Cleaners, and she was one of the really snotty ones.
Okay.
That was always over there, and she didn't recognize me. I have my mask on, and
Oh, that's right. Mask are now like a normal thing. It's gonna be like, ooh, so anonymous.
exactly.
I'm going on break right now, guys. But you can listen to the story.
So when she went to the cleaners dropping off clothes, she went there all the time in like this nice BMW, but she was like always really crazy acting, like she's definitely on drugs.
Great.
I don't know what drug.
For context, if anyone listening, Ricky used to work at Crown Cleaners, which is a dry cleaners, and it was full of lots of terrible people.
Yes. So she was always adamant that her husband works this big fancy job and his clothes need to be perfect and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Did she bring in men's clothes?
Sometimes, yeah. But anyway, just now when I saw her, she's now driving this it is a CRV on the older one, and she's like even more crazy. So she's whacked down drugs. I was like, those drugs are just sucking all her money.
Yeah.
It's like, geez.
Part of being an addict.
And then it's her turn to go up to the counter and say what she needs, and she's acting crazy, can't stop moving her arms
Yeah.
and stuff. And
It's too bad.
they forgot to do the rotation on the tires, and I called 3 times.
Ah.
Still being just as crazy.
Oh, I
as,
felt
like,
bad for
Crown
them.
Cleaners. And then meanwhile, I'm thinking about like how far I've come
Yeah.
in that time, and I'm like, dang,
Can lose it just as quick.
lose it just as quick.
When did you work at Crown Cleaners? A couple years ago? Like,
2016, 2017,
yeah, it sounds right.
in those years.
So up until last year, for anyone watching, Ricky and I collectively never made more than like $15,000 a year. And that's both of us working. And he worked full-time minimum wage. I did miscellaneous jobs while I was in college. We were like hella broke. And now we're not hella broke, which is great. And you can see on Patreon, it's public. We make $4,000 a little over a month now, which is like unbelievable. We're just saving everything and like we're setting we spent like all last week reading about like IRAs and 401ks and investing. We're being so adult, which makes me sad because you know it's money I can't spend, but it's still good to save. We need a retirement because we're self-employed.
Yeah, I waited all that time in line too, and they don't do alignments.
They don't? But it's a tire shop.
I know.
Okay.
I guess they don't do alignments. Not there.
Maybe they don't have the, because you mentioned it's mostly done by computer, so maybe they don't have the equipment.
Yeah, you definitely need like this big old machine to do
That's probably why.
it. I thought they had one.
I guess not. Do you want to see my octopus lady? She's very not done. I mean, she looks cool right here.
Oh yeah.
All right, I love this.
Very cool.
So fancy.
So fancy.
And then the not done part.
Tentacles.
They're all just pinned down right now.
I think you should make some of them different.
They are all different, actually. I will kill you. I feel like I should.
So cool.
Should she be looking up or down more? I guess it
I
won't.
would say down. Like if anything. Like
Yeah.
Down a little bit.
I think it'll look good once these are posed, and then it won't matter. Like, this is what models.
Evil to me, so I'm like,
Right? I just.
down on people.
I feel it. That's why I've been zoomed in on my break with this, because I'm like, this looks more finished. Alright, I'm gonna heat up my coffee, and I'll be back in 5 minutes or so. Alright, I am back. Time to work on the rest of this model. Specifically, all of the tentacles. And there's just so many, guys. Alright. If I really don't want to, I might work on or start the Sea Chimera instead. Which is going to be honestly a whole other disaster in itself, but like, whatever. I found one good piece of concept art for the Sea Chimera, so I'll just use that. Alright, so the goal here is just to start moving these around in a way that will make this look cool. What's up? Oh, I know there's an ad on it. Isn't that crazy? Ricky's also joining the live stream, even though you're here. You're in the live stream, babe. Can you guys imagine having 8 legs? My goodness. It just seems excessive. I feel like 6 is like the max that's like useful. I don't know, we have 10 fingers though. Like, those are all pretty useful.
Yeah, 10 toes.
Toes aren't useful.
You trying to tell me you don't pick stuff up with your toes?
Oh my god. Oh yeah, all the time. All the time.
I do.
When I'm not live streaming, I don't even use my hands to sculpt.
When it comes to cleaning up, my toes.
Ricky, you're such a dork. Well, Sarah says hi to you. God, Sarah's the sweetest. Oh yeah, and Terry, he mentioned when he joined the live stream there wasn't an ad, and I'm like, oh, might depend on your area. He changed his VPN to California just so he could watch the ad.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm like, you're the fucking sweetest. I love that.
Thanks for the fraction of a penny.
That's kind of what I said. I'm like, I don't know if it really counts towards anything, but it doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. And I don't know about like the super chats, like they're there, but like it's just like stickers and shoutouts and stuff. I feel like the super chats make more sense if like I did something. You know what I mean? Where I was like, oh, like if you like donate $1 or something, you could have like input on like how I make that. I don't know. I feel like that can go wrong too much. I'm so picky.
Yeah.
They'd be like, do this. I'd be like, no, it's stupid. Like, I don't know. But I would love to find a way to make the super chats like interactive. One, because I think it makes the chat look cool because it's colorful, but it's also money, literally. I don't know.
You could just do like the cam girl thing. Where it's like,
I know.
You do it, you just say their name.
Oh yeah. That's so lame. I said it anyway. I'm like Sarah said. Celio said. Like,
Well, they owe you money now.
You hear that? All of you guys, as I say your name, I was like, oh, that's $1. That's $1.
Already in debt.
Already in debt. It's just the truth. And the funny part is, like, most of these people are Patreon supporters anyway. I'm like, y'all give me money anyway. Like, I don't know. I know there's something I can do to make it cool and like an interactive, interesting thing. I just don't know what it would be. I'm so biased. It's really not even about the money for me. I just like the stickers. They're so cute.
Doesn't Twitch have a thing where like they pledge $1 and they get like they can write a message and like Siri reads it for them?
I think so.
Live stream. Maybe something like that. And everyone hears your message.
This is also true. Alright, this is starting to look better, guys. Yeah.
Sarah's backing me up right now.
Yeah, she had a good point. That's a very good point about like people who lose both their arms and use their toes for things, and they're super good at it too. I've seen women do their makeup and stuff. It's cool. And so, yes, we are all definitely our Patreons who have money to donate. I know, I don't think you are, but like, I know a lot of you guys are though. Ricky is. Ricky is technically a patron for $1. We did that to like test how the post would look through like emails to you guys, and then he never stopped. So Ricky has given like $16 over the course of a year and a half.
So I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, you sure can, honey. I'm not too fussed with it. There's ads on these anyway, so like, who cares? That's something. But at some point, it'd be cool to do a live stream where there's like a point for super chats that do something. I know.
We'll figure it out.
All right. How do I get this to go away? I actually brought up like notifications. There we go. I'm like, go away. All right. Trying to get a better sense of motion here. Like it's improving, but it's still pretty like stiff, I think. And it's kind of weird that this bends right here and then like these don't line up. I think I should get like a better curve here. Oh boy, Cilio said a lot. What are you saying? That's kind of cute. I don't use Twitch though. It's cute though. A hat, a 3D hat. What's up?
You'll see.
Oh my goodness. Did you really?
Yes.
Oh my. Ricky left the room briefly here. I didn't know why. You're such a dork. Sarah says you could pull up Little Mermaid videos, get a better idea of how to pose her. You know, that's a very good point. I am struggling. All right, Ursula. Ursula is so dramatic. All of these pictures are great, but they're like insane poses. Alright, I'm finding some interesting like designs here where it pretty much makes it look like she's in like I forgot what they're called. I think they are called like mermaid dresses. I have to sneeze. I know, I'm not actually sneezing though. It just anyway, to where it's like really tight form fitting and like flows out at the end, and that's where all the tentacles are, which that can be kind of cool. A lot of these people that have drawn Ursula also have trouble posing tentacles. I feel it, but like. Sarah says, I really want to sing Poor Unfortunate Souls now. Do it. That is a fantastic song. I sing Disney all the time. I think I was trying to go for kind of like that dress-like look. It's making it difficult. Like the form-fitted one. I think now if I spread out her tentacles more from everything that I saw, it's going to look more the way that I want it to.
Oh my god.
What's up?
What's Sarah said?
Oh, Sarah says my voice sounds like an angry cat being banged against an attitude piano. It's not a good sound. Well, I mean, if no one's home, like, especially go nuts. I mean, you have to listen to yourself still, but I don't know.
Earplugs.
Alright, I think this is starting to look pretty good. This is getting more of like the motion I was hoping for. Just adjusting a few of them to make sure they're all on the same plane. So I like them, but I do want them shorter. Not by a ton. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these into the same folder. And then like that. Then I can go to this little gear right here, hit transpose set, and move this around. That's better. I'm just going to inflate it just a little bit. There we go. And then once this is all merged, I'll probably take the clay buildup brush and really make sure that they transition well by adding stuff like that and like stretching the skirt down. Oops, sorry, I just punched the mic. I heard what you put, Celia. I'm just laughing at you. At least you know it was wrong. I always click fill layer by accident. No. Oh, ZBrush. There we go. I could merge these all down, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm worried. As long as I keep them polygrouped separately, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, actually. Yeah, none of these have anything weird going on, so I will try doing that. Because then I can, like, adjust them all at once. So now I can subdivide all of them, so now they're all smooth. Already looks much better. And of course, I can poly paint them now. And if I go to brush and turn on auto masking, then it'll only affect one tentacle at a time anyway. Can't remember where that, what, there it is, auto masking. That to 100, and then now I don't even have to worry about it. Because I think some of these are a bit too thick. There we go. That looks a bit better. Cool. This is starting to look really good. Sarah says, what's your email? I'm looking for Octopus Mermaid reference pics for you. Right here. Meanwhile, Celia is still going. I put it back and it didn't fix it. Unrelated note, I have a hot take for you. Go ahead, Celia. What is it? I really like how this is going. Obviously, I'm still open to the reference pictures, Sarah, but I don't know if I would necessarily incorporate too much more at this point, just because I really like how it's turning out. I really can see, like, as if she's, like, stepping forward. That is a hot take. Octopus merfolk should only have 6 tentacles because the hands are already 2 extremities. You're right, now it's like 10. No, not changing it. But yes, that is, I mean, you're not telling me to anyway, but that is a very good hot take. That's a good defense. 10 in the word tentacle. I think Ursula only has 6 as well. Oh well. It is so hard to count tentacles. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She does have 6. Oh my god. Well, I think Disney agrees with your hot take, Celia. Whatever. It's happened. You know what? Nah, I have to Google it. I spelling? Cacalia, Cecilia. Oh, no, 8. They have 8. There you have it. It's 8. Celia in all caps. She does have 6. Genius. The octopus Cacalia have 8 muscular tentacles, all of which are capable of using weapons or tools. Thank you, Strollin.com. Oh my gosh. Celia, all in caps still. Disney artists and I are birds of a feather. It's a high praise. On a non-snotty follow-up question, genuine follow-up question, how is your Kickstarter going? No, I don't laugh. It's not, so I genuinely am just curious how it's going. See, when I'm just snotty all the time, it just makes it sound bad. I'm gonna sip my coffee. I'm sorry. I do care. He's eating pistachios. You saying I'm so salty, it's like out of context.
It's still right.
Could you stop sassily licking your fingers at me? When we move, our desks are not gonna be next to each other.
Yeah, yours gonna be outside.
Okay, that sounds like bad, but like I actually joked. Ricky's not putting me outside. I actually joke about that. We have a little patio for where we're moving, and like there's geese and stuff, and I love animals, and I would just love the idea of having like my desk outside with all the little teenage geese. Okay, Sarah sent pictures. Yay.
Every time I get an ad on one of your videos, Nina, I'm gonna watch all of it.
Yeah, I mean it's ours.
Premiere Pro. Got a Premiere Pro ad.
Oh my god, the pictures you found are so cool. How did I not find any of these? The one in blue where she's like attacking is like badass. Okay, yeah, so this does kind of go with the idea I was thinking about, like really making sure that the skirt, like right, where is my pen? This live stream's gonna end early because, oh, there it is. This part, like really has like distinct flaps in between each tentacle. That's awesome. But in one of the pictures you sent, the one with blue, this is still very distinct like this. I might actually just put like big ridges right there. They still blend in, but that'd be really, really cool. The male one is really cool. He looks mean. The last one cracks me up because it's kind of like a pinup version, but I like it. Meanwhile, Sayo says, ah, well, yeah, you see, about that. Saxa says, show us. Oh, yeah, duh, sorry. I mean, you said politely show us, like question mark? I appreciate that. And now I'm just like hoarding the images to myself. Alright, this is the one that I like the most that she sent me. It's gonna be a super, super long link. Bear with me. It doesn't want to send because it's... Sax says, I feel left out. Alright, it doesn't want to send. Because it's like a really long link. Did you just pay $2 to us? Oh my god.
I had to see what it did.
And you picked like the lamest fucking sticker, babe.
What's it look like?
Here. There you go. You are vibes. Our very first super chat is from us. Oh my god, honey, I love you. I cannot share the pictures because the link is too long. It is 800 characters and I can only do 200. I apologize. I can't. I love you. You're such a dork.
Vibes.
But I love it. So I'm not gonna say my first monetized live stream I technically had a sticker. It was just from us.
I can send as many as I want. They're free.
They're not free. I'm sure that do not. So Ricky and I both own M3DM. It's a partnership, even though like my name's in it. So this is literally like we're paying ourselves, quite literally. Would you stop?
Why? I'm looking at it.
Dork. Ah, like on my screen. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, I'm silly. Let me pull up my email. Oh look, it's Discord. All right, here we go. Bam. This is the one I liked the most. This one I thought was really, really cool because it's like aggressive. And then this is the one that's like a pinup. It's very like hentai Eve. I still really like it because of her hair is really interesting and it's a nice color scheme too. But this one was my favorite, so it's talking about the ridges and stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't showing it on this screen. I completely forgot I can do that. Don't mind me. But yeah, those are awesome. Thank you very much, Sarah. Zach says, but YouTube gets a cut of this one, so really you're just paying YouTube. I know, that's why I'm like, Ricky, stop it.
I'm gonna send you another one.
Do not! I mean, realistically, I don't know what cut YouTube takes, actually. I don't think they do. I read the terms and conditions because I'm a dork, and it says nothing about that, actually. Anyway, don't. And yeah, Zach says the attack stance is absolutely amazing, right? It's a little too aggressive for the kind of mini I want to make, and big. Like, it literally would just take up, like, 3 tiles on a game. I like her current pose. I think it's classy. Yeah, Clute likes it too. Oh, Clute is back. Hello, hello. Yeah, so Clute says, I like how the webbing acts as a skirt. Definitely. All right. So for this, what I was talking about earlier is I want to add like some sort of like ridge right here. Increases the intensity. It's a little too soft. There we go. Just something simple. I think looks really nice. ZBrush is saying that this and this are the same color, and they're not. Just in case you're wondering, I keep clicking back and forth, back and forth. See, those are not the same. Oof, I don't like that. Whatever. That's what we're doing. Alright, at this point, it's just really adding those little suction cups. to make sure that these are thinned out. So obviously I want them thicker at the top than at the bottom, but I still want to flow well. So right now I'm just kind of going through the tentacles and just kind of fine-tuning how I want them to look. actually having a lot of fun playing around with these. I thought this would be a little bit more frustrating, but no, it's not bad. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of play around with like the skirt and how that's really going to fit. I think I'm going to have like clear divisions and then pull them down across and over the tentacles. Not totally sure what I want to do with it, so I'm just going to experiment. I think it's interesting, but I think I'd rather them have a smoother transition. So I'm going to keep the ridges there to show like the distinction, but I'm going to soften it up a lot. At this point, I'm going to make the little suction cup. So I go to cylinder, pick this color first and fill. Shrink this down. Probably about that thick. And then I'm going to Dynamesh this. Also going to turn on Radial Symmetry. And then going to look at some reference pictures, see like what a little suction cup really looks like up close. They're more tapered than I thought. There we go. And then they have a bunch of little lines actually that connect to the inside. Oops. And this isn't super accurate. This is just, I think it'd be cool to have a little bit of textured pattern on there. Oh, whoops. Make them look more like flowers, kind of. Just have fun with it. Casey says, how are you doing so many levels of symmetry? Radial symmetry. I am going to transform, activate symmetry, and then right here the little R, that will activate radial symmetry, and you pick how many points. So I picked 17. I think that's the default. I didn't actually change that. For how many points you have, anyway. Yeah, if you have any more questions about that, let me know. I keep creating a bunch of versions of this brush because I keep making small mistakes. Okay. So yeah, that'll work really, really well as the suction cups, but obviously I don't want them sticking off so far. So what I'm going to do is go to brush, go to depth, and then place this on that line or a little below it, and that should help. There we go. They look kind of like little flowers. I made them a little too stylized maybe, but I think it looks cool. Alright, this will be a little tricky because they're really going to be facing in for the most part. There's almost not a point to adding suction cups, honestly. But that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. It's so sensitive. Okay. So I mentioned, like, since the tentacles are face in, there's almost not a point to adding suction cups, and I totally take it back. That looks way freaking cooler. And yeah, they really do look like little flowers up close, and I'm not changing it, because even though it's not realistic, I love it. I think it's adorable. Casey says, and that's so useful, I could save so much time with that. Yeah, I feel like that a lot with ZBrush. Like, I find things and I'm like, oh. I actually know some easier ways to do this, but I just like the asymmetry of adding these little suction cups. I didn't realize how asymmetrical suction cups are in tentacles. I mean, it depends on the octopus, but they actually get a little chaotic on some of them. I like that look more personally, so that's kind of what I'm going for. Looking at some references of suction cups. Usually there's like, it's just like two side by side all the way down, but they are a little bit staggered, generally speaking. Clute says, you won't see the flowers when it prints anyway, so do the cups that make you inspired. Right? I like it. They'll just look like normal suction cups there. They kind of match the little ones that I made for the coral reef, actually, which I like that too. As I finish some of these, I think I'm going to split them to their own sections. Because, for instance, this is 1.6 million, and I'm not sure why, because I did decimate these. I guess 20,000 points still adds up. Oh yeah, and the base of this was also pretty high res. So right now I'm going to go through and add some sort of like noise or texture to the base of this. I think I'm just going to draw on these little lines here. Nothing too crazy, but that way it's not perfectly smooth. This will just barely show up on a 3D print. I might want to pick a different texture. That looks too much like hair. That's how I build up hair. But I do want to add something. I think I might add the same little dots that I added to the top of my Myconid Giant, actually. I think it was these ones, yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to let me because this is like really low poly, kind of. So I'm going to split off this base tentacle by itself, actually. And then Dynamesh this, because this is only 30,000 points. This is not giving me enough to put any texture on. There we go, just like adding some little bumps. I think there's a cleaner one. Yeah, this one. There we go. Oh yeah, it actually adds a section in the back, which already kind of looks section cup-like. I remember I used this on the first tentacles I ever made, and I just left it like that. But I think this in conjunction looks really, really cool. Alright, these definitely need to be decimated. So yes, that's pretty much this process, just 7 more times. Clute says, it's crazy how just the cups even read as a little bit of texture and it totally ups the level of tentacles. Right? I agree. I was surprised by that too. I was thinking of not even adding them because I'm like, oh, you're going to barely be able to see them anyway. Now I'm like, damn, this makes the entire model look just so much better. I love that they're just little flowers. They're so cute. Not sure if I want them to be a darker or a lighter color. Traditionally, they're a lighter color on the inside. I should be able to mask by cavity, actually. So I'll make them the darkest color possible. And then I will select this lighter color, and I will try to mask by cavity and see how that does. So, masking. Where is it? There it is, mask by cavity. And we'll see how it does. I don't know if it did anything. I don't think it did anything. I don't know how this works. What if I just invert it? It did nothing. What if I exaggerate it? It also did nothing. I think it's because it's not looking at the model itself, but it's looking at the orientation of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the mask was showing up on this other side or something. Okay, I would expect to be able to see it at all. Let me change the color so maybe it'd be easier to see on something lighter. Yeah, it is like not doing anything. Interesting. Is it because it's so low poly? No, I should be able to see it. Intensity. I'm gonna put it to the max. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. Cool. And now let's mess with this profile and see what that does. Okay, so it looks like pulling it down did a better job. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So now let's go back to paint. And then fill object. And that's probably gonna look really neat. Yeah, I mean it's a little messy because it kind of like cut through. So I'm gonna mess with this a little bit to try and prevent that. This is all totally extra. This doesn't affect the 3D model at all. This is just for me because it's fun. So I think partly why that happened was because of the intensity. I was wrong. So pushing this curve up is what I want for this. That's probably the best I'm gonna get, which doesn't really do a great job. I don't know why I'd want to add like a... because I can add like another line in here and I just don't... I really wish that like the X and Y axis of this graph was labeled because this is meaningless to me. Like any graph would be if there wasn't labels. Oh well. Clute says, oh my goodness, a chibi style version of this character with flower cups. I may have to do it. That'd be so cute. Like if Chris Sander, designer Lilo Stitch, did a take on this creature. Oh my goodness, I can totally see it. That would be amazing. I would love to see that. See, I put like a little curve in it now, and like I didn't do anything. That's like more or less what I wanted. It does make it look cooler, so I'll roll with it. This little polka dot texture is like so ocean. I love it. It doesn't overlap super well because of these 3 dots right here. But it's not enough of a problem for me to like need to change the alpha entirely. Because I could go in and edit it, but I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, that one tentacle looks really cool. Oh gosh, I really don't want to do that 7 more times, guys. Like, it wasn't that bad, I just don't want to. Let's see. For me, the live stream's like super blurry. I don't know how it looks on your guys' end. Oh, nope, it fixes. For some reason, mine was defaulting to like 144p. Just checking. I was gonna stop working on this, but there actually is a handful of people watching, which I definitely appreciate. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take this as an excuse, or as a reason to just finish the model now and keep working. Perks of live streaming. Reminds me, it's like just keep going. I'm so close to being done. All right. Yeah, split this into its own piece. I'm going to treat this one the same way as this. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. I was going to stop live streaming because I don't want to keep doing these tentacles. I finished 1 and I don't want to do 7 more. But there's like actually a handful of people here. There's been like more than 5 the entire time. That's really cool. So I'm using it as an excuse to keep working.
You do it once.
I know, but I really should finish this. It really is a peaceful process. Sometimes I'm grateful when like I know like what to do for the rest of the model. So much of what I do isn't like knowing how I'm going to do it and just going through the steps. It's a lot of like, okay, how am I going to make this work? What if I try this? What if I try this? Which is really fun. That's why I love modeling so much. It just keeps me on my toes, you know? And for once, with this, I know exactly what to do. which again, kind of a blessing and a curse. I love if I could like count, like have ZBrush count how many of these little section caps I've drawn on. I mean, I could just do the math, whatever like 1.5 million is divided by 20,000. But I'm not gonna do that. It's getting a bit hard to see, so I'm going to change the color. Oh, that's dumb. The masking settings don't just save, you have to do them for each subtool. I do not like that. That's alright, I know what the settings were roughly. That did not work nearly as well as the first one. I think it's because I did it before I decimated too. Didn't think that would matter, but I guess so. So we'll do that first. Waiting for this post process. And actually, I am super hungry, so I'm probably going to sign off pretty soon here. But it's been super fun hanging out with you guys, like always. Come on, ZBrush. Do your thing. I mean, there is double the amount of polygons this one than last time, so I should be patient for double as long. Sweet. That has loaded up. For some reason, it is not decimating this. I pre-processed and picked which one I wanted, and it was just like, no, we're not doing that. Okay. Clued says, I totally sidetracked. Sketching her up now. Oh, that's awesome. You gotta share that in Discord. I definitely want to see that. Take two. I might have clicked on the wrong button. We'll see. There we go, that succeeded. Now this should work. It's still not working. Never had that problem before. I guarantee it's if I just open and close ZBrush, it will work. Yeah, it just kind of, it glitches and quits every single time. It thinks it's doing it though. But I can see the active points right here. Oh, I mean, it is decimated, I guess. I don't know what's happening here. It says active points 2.6 million, and I assume that is what I'm selected on. Yep. Let's try it again. Doing a percent decimation instead of giving it a specific number. Yeah, it pops up really quick here saying that it cannot decimate, but it's not saying why. Yeah, so it is trying decimate. So you can see the back of this has all been flattened. This is very interesting. I've never had this problem before. Alright, well let's troubleshoot. If I dynamesh at a low resolution, I know that will work. Yep, that looks ridiculous. Oh, I see. Look. So some of it... Alright, I know what's happening. It's still attached to this. It cannot decimate when there's something hidden. I wish ZBrush would just tell me that. Saltiness aside. Now I know this will actually work. And pre-processing for the 3rd time. Woohoo! Kit says, hope she's not one of those blue ring octopi. But they're so pretty, other than being horribly dangerous and poisonous. That's one thing I do think is funny about ZBrush. Like certain errors, I mean, it's all user error for the most part because obviously it's a program. It just does what you tell it to. But it'd be nice if like stuff like this, where, for instance, it can't do certain operations if part of the mesh is hidden. It'll usually tell you up here where it says computing. Did not tell me in this case, which is silly. I wasted my own time. I played myself. Here says software can have bugs, Mia. Yes. Did I say that it couldn't? But yes, yes it can. Generally speaking, I know a lot of things I do are pretty user error based though. Though there are a few things that's fine in ZBrush. I noticed with 2020, like when I scroll through my subtool menus, it crashes like, not like consistently, but I've had a couple files where it does that and I'm like, why? Why are you doing this? And like it would be like really early on to only have like a sphere and a cylinder. It's like a total of like 1,000 polygons. I'm like, okay, what is happening? Haha, and it worked this time. Yay. All right. Please don't crash. Sweet. I could see it like lagging ever so slightly, and I'm like, oh no. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. And then put a fancy render on this. I've done these really dramatic blackout backgrounds recently. I know it's not as easy to see the model, but I like it. It's really clean, simple. Alright, that's looking really cool. With 2 out of the 8 tentacles done, but whatever. I am super happy with this so far. I wasn't sure how this model was going to turn out. I didn't think it'd come across as elegant. I thought it'd be a little bit more monstrous looking. But no, it looks pretty streamlined. It's pretty cool. I like it. Let's see. What if I mess with the lighting and put it on the other side? Ooh, that's very dramatic. I like that. Though the shadows are a little harsh, so I will go to render, BPR shadow, bring the strength down a little bit, increase the angle. That's not what I want. It looks cool. That's weird. Just gonna render it again. There we go. That's like some more like even lighting. I like that. Though, I mean, the glitchy render was cool. Just not what I wanted. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. I may or may not live stream tomorrow. I don't know. But I will live stream on Thursday. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.